Welcome to Toby's and Westport for Pitchside, the Mayo News Sports Weekly. I'm joined by my colleague Ronan O'Donnell, and usually we speak about so many different sports, but this week the whole sporting landscape in Mayo has been dominated by Mayo GAA. Whether it's Kevin McStay, his illness and him stepping back from being Mayo manager, and Stephen Rochford moving in as the assistant coach taking over, or that monumental meeting in Knockranny House of the County Board and the GAA Stewart and the President. There's so much to talk about, and that's before we even get on to tomorrow's game against Tyrone, which is probably pivotal in Mayo's season. And Ronan, it has been an exceptional week. Kevin McStay first stepping away. I wrote this week in the paper and online about, and we're not connecting the two, but the pressure that was on that guy, and then the abuse from losing to Cavan, like it really was memorable for all the wrong reasons, I suppose, this week.
Yeah, it's a tough job managing the inter-county team anyway.
Yeah,
of course there's abuse and personal issues going to come about, but McStay he's had a hard time of it now recently, and he stepped away for health reasons, which is of course understandable. And Stephen Rochford, known to Mayo, he's back again.
Yeah.
And it's great to see.
Absolutely. To have a man of that quality to step in, and Stephen, who was assistant manager but now is in the role, and we're really looking forward to tomorrow too, I suppose, because as we said off air, Stephen has never been afraid to chance things and change things, and I suppose that maybe that's what we need going to Tyrone tomorrow, something different.
Yes, for sure. We're going in as big underdogs now in Tyrone, but there has to be a performance in Mayo. There always is.
Yeah.
A shock defeat to Cavan, Mayo need to bounce back.
Yeah.
And most people are writing them off, but I certainly wouldn't.
Yeah, it's ideally set up for the Mayo, for chaotic stuff and a win, and we always see the best in Mayo here in the Mayo News anyway.
Who knows now? It should be a good game.
Should be. And we'll be there reporting on it online and in the paper on Tuesday. But to go back a bit to Knockranny House, that was monumental, wasn't it? There has been a lot of talk over the past weeks, months and years, I suppose, about finances in Mayo GAA. Mayo GAA have said absolutely nothing over the years. And I suppose that left people not knowing, but the GAA seemed to come and put that to bed on Monday night.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know what the reason why Gerald Burns and Tom Ryan were coming down. Yeah. But they were coming down to clear up issues and that, and I think they done what they were attempting to do. Yeah,
the Stewart, Tom Ryan, he's really the man who runs the GAA, and the president, Gerald Burns, and they were there, and everyone knew it was going to be really serious when those guys were there, and all the Mayo GAA delegates and members of the clubs. So we thought the big story coming from the meeting on Monday night would be about emails, about finances, about all this type of stuff. But actually, it was about 5 young men in Dublin who were maybe evicted from their accommodation.
Yes, it made local news, but it also made national headlines as well. 5 players on the Mayo panel were reported by a person who knows who it was. But the accommodation crisis in Dublin, of course, is crazy bad.
Yeah.
But from our understanding here in the Mayo News, we found out that these 5 players have secured accommodation in Dublin now, thankfully.
Yeah, and so it's they're not living on the streets. But I suppose the information we have, and the information that was given on Monday night, is that an email went to Gerald Burns and to Mayo GAA saying that 5 Mayo senior inter-county players were living in an area of Dublin zoned as commercial. And this email said that they were going to be reported to Dublin City Council or Fingal County Council. I'm not sure, but we don't know whether that actually occurred or not. The reportage, but we understand that the players then moved out of that accommodation and are now they're not homeless at the moment. But it really caught people's emotions, didn't it?
It was a really messy situation now, but thankfully it's resolved now.
Yeah, I suppose though, in Mayo, if you think one of your own is being treated unfairly, then people jump at it, no matter what the facts like. Yeah, so it's really it's our biggest story of the week.
It has. It's made national headlines all over. Every paper is included in it.
Yeah, as usual, Mayo make the news.
Yes, for the wrong reasons this time.
on this occasion. But going back again to tomorrow, so you're saying Mayo to beat Tyrone?
I wouldn't write them off. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. They're big underdogs. I think they're over 3-1 with the bookmakers. So,
Yeah,
you know.
And a spread of 6.
Yes.
But then again, now we know all about spreads of 6.
Yes, there was a spread of 6 against Cav, and look how that went.
And there was a spread against Galway too, and then we nearly, we beat the spread, like. But it's going to be really, really interesting. I'm really looking forward to it. Now, before Mayo play Tyrone, there's another big Mayo GAA match tomorrow. Yeah, in Croke Park.
The hurlers, yes.
Yeah.
The hurlers will face Connacht rivals Roscommon at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
But
the Nicky Rackard final.
Yes. Mayo are hot favourites. They should beat them, but you never know in sport.
Yeah, you never know in sport. But the hurling in Mayo, it's not as big as Gaelic football, but it's passionate, it's so skilled, it's so talented, and the people that are involved in hurling, they deserve support. I hope there's a big Mayo support there tomorrow for the guys. Yeah.
And Ray Larkin's men, they've been going well all season now.
Yeah.
And hopefully they can cap it off with a win in Croke Park.
They beat London in the Division 3 final. London are a really good team.
Yeah.
So Mayo, they'll cap off a great year, I think, tomorrow with a bit of luck at all.
Well, hopefully now, yeah.
So look, Mayo GAA, the biggest story of the week. It's the biggest story of every week, really. But particularly on this occasion, because this weekend there's no Super League games in soccer. The Mayo ladies aren't playing till next weekend when they take on Kerry. The Mayo minors aren't playing till next weekend when they take on Offaly in the All-Ireland quarter-final. So Mayo GAA is the big story of the weekend, the hurlers and the footballers. And of course, we can't forget, next week, the Cumann and Munster finals in McHale Park, and we'll be there as always, giving the best coverage of sport in Mayo, in the paper every Tuesday and online on mayonews.ie. But before we go, big thanks to everyone in Toby's. They open up here every Friday morning for us to do this, let us in, and they put up with us, and we have great fun. So catch us again next Friday on Pitchside, the Mayo News Sports Weekly.